Good morning and welcome to Low Chlo installation. My name is Todd Garino. I'm the founder of Low Chlo LLC. Low Chlo is a new revolutionary swimming pool sanitation mineral tank device. In today's episode you will see how it gets installed in a retrofit type installation. You can see here installation is going to be a little tricky as it's very tight, not much room to work. Very common in this type of installation for our product, as we do need to get the system installed between the filter and the heater. Not only is there not much room in there between the filter and the heater, but the entire equipment pad is also enclosed with all kinds of shrubbery to keep it hidden and to keep the neighborhood looking beautiful. The first step in installation of our Low Chlo unit is to always check the pool water. We want to make sure that the water is not corrosive and is balanced so that our system can work properly. So as you can see here, I did take some tests and the water here is good to go. The next few steps in our installation we call the pre-installation. These are the steps where we get ready to install the tank before we actually cut any of the plumbing. The first thing you always want to do is make sure that the pool pump will not come on while you're working. The safest way is to just turn the breakers off, as we've done here. The next step is to try to figure out where you're going to place your tank. So you can see here, because of the lack of space available, we are going to place the tank on the other side of the heater. This is why we include 20 feet of flexible piping with every unit, because you're never sure where the unit's actually going to be located on the equipment pad. So you can see here behind the heater up against the house there was a nice little clearing, so we put a little level pad down there for the unit to sit on. And once we get going with the plumbing, you'll see how we bring the flexible pipe over and back to the existing pool plumbing. Now that we have the unit in its desired installation location, we can start to figure out how we're going to get the plumbing manipulated to get the water to our tank and back. What we did here was put a few lines on the piping where we're going to cut and install our little bypass manifold that comprises of a 3-way 2-inch diverter valve and a 2-inch T. You'll see how those fit together later on. Because this equipment is so tight, we also will have to cut this filter out and move it a little bit, so you can see the other line drawn here where we'll be cutting the pipe just to move the filter over a little to make room for this installation manifold. So now you can see we've made our cuts, we've repositioned the filter, and we're ready to start plumbing in our bypass manifold. The reason we need to put a bypass manifold is to divert enough water through our mineral tank where the bacteria, algae, protozoa, etc. will be killed. This is also the place where the dechlorination happens. So as the water travels through our tank and then comes back into this heater, there'll be very, very little, less than 1 part per million of chlorine being sent back through the heater and eventually back into the pool water. That little amount of chlorine is equivalent to residential or municipal drinking water standards. Now you can see we've installed our bypass manifold, which we will now hook up to our Low Chlo tank. We've also repositioned the filter, tied that back in, put the temperature gauge back in, and if you notice here, we did remove the existing chlorinator because that was in the traditional spot, which is no longer needed with our system. You don't want to be sending chlorinated water back to the pool. Our intent was to move that chlorinator up here onto this pipe, which is where we would install it for our Low Chlo system. However, if you can see, the operations panel or the automation panel is right in the way of that pipe, so we would not be able to put a chlorinator there. But we explained this to the homeowner, and we will come back with an offline chlorinator that we will sit right here on the ground Tapcon it to the base of the pad and run the 2 tubes in and out. The next step will be running this flexible PVC pipe from our bypass manifold over to our low Chlo tank, which again is located on the back side of the heater. As you can see, we did glue in our 2 to 1 inch reducer bushings, our 1 inch check valve on the return side of the unit, as well as our flex pipe, running it in and behind the heater, up over into the head of our tank. You will see there are arrows clearly marking in and out on the tank itself, as well as the pressure gauge that was just installed. On top of the tank here, you will also see a secondary bypass valve. The reason for the bypass valve is those 4 or 5 times a year that you may need to shock the pool after a very heavy rain or hurricane or real high baler load. You'll want to bypass the unit, put the shock in to do its work for 24 hours, then come back out, unbypass the unit, and the rest of the day that chlorine will be removed and the pool will be back to swimmable. For our maintenance companies that are out there watching this video, if you have any questions, obviously you can call us anytime. We would also like to offer a free, no obligation, 90-day trial of one of our tanks. Just call us up, we'll ship it to you for free. No credit card on file or anything like that. After 90 days, if you're happy with the system, you continue to use it, we'll send you an invoice and you pay for it. If not, we send you a return shipping box it up and send it right back to us. We also have a satisfaction guarantee. If the homeowner is not satisfied, even if the system is working properly, we will replace that system with a traditional salt chlorine generator. One thing we did not talk about during the installation fee is the actual warranty of our unit. Our unit comes with a 5-year full parts and labor warranty. Any issues arise in the first 5 years of ownership, you just call us, send in a picture of the issue. We either send out replacement parts or come out and fix it ourselves if you're local. Not sure if you can see that, but each unit is serialized for warranty purposes. If you have any questions, you can reach us at todd@low-chlo.com, or you can check out our website, low-chlo.com.